Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more Sonic Hacking Contest 2016 coverage with me, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven. This is an event that's currently running, hosted by Sonic Stuff Research Group and Sonic Retro. We're looking at 3 more hacks that are currently available at the show, and we're starting off with the Sonic Scorched quest by Team Painto. Team Painto! So yeah, this is there's an awful lot of stuff going on in this one. A plot, an actual story, lots of cutscene at the start, which is kind of cool. Drags on a little bit, mind, but there you go. But some thought has definitely gone into this, and lots of customization. So we've got completely new stage layouts, using lots of the Sonic 1 assets, but changing them somewhat, because after the first act, the entire world gets scorched, hence the title of the game. And there's some lovely heat effects, sort of wavy backgrounds and things like that. Fire is throughout the stage, things are broken and stuff. It's just a nice looking thing. And it obviously reminds you of Angel Island from Sonic 3, which goes through a very similar process. The idea with this is that it's actually supposed to be a direct follow-up to Sonic CD. So you actually have the exact same abilities. So you've got the Super Peel Out and the Super Spin Dash. But it's not the spin dash that you know from Sonic 2, it's the one from Sonic CD, so you're already in the sphere, you don't start off in the weird sort of elongated mode that you can charge. So yeah, I quite like that as a concept, to be honest with you. Now, stage design is the big focus on this one, because it has obviously been altered to be its own thing, and I like it a lot. I feel like this is one of the few hacks that we've looked at so far where the stage design is pretty damn good. So we've got, you know, a lovely focus on platforming and speed. The speed is always a lovely reward for platforming, and there's a good flow to the game. It's a really nice thing to play. Certainly something that you probably want to check out. I was going to say, like, despite all the customization to the stages, it would have been nice to have seen more custom artwork, I think. That's the only thing I could really level against this. I appreciate that it's trying to do this sort of like follow-up to Sonic CD, return to Christmas Island from the first Sonic game, and sort of mess with it with the Scorched sort of look to the stages, which is fine. But it would have just been nice to, you know, like all that effort that's gone into doing what's been done already, it would have been nice to see some more custom artwork. But again, that's just me. That's not really a massive criticism, to be honest with you. It's just that I feel like, you know, they've done such a good job of what's here already that it would have been nice to have gone a step further. But maybe that will come in a future release. But yeah, Sonic Scorched Quest, I think that was what it was called. Yes, that's correct. By Team Painto. Well worth checking out. One of the highlights from this year's Sonic Hacking Contest. And I've got to say, I really enjoy the bonus stages as well, which are remixes of the Sonic 8-bit bonus stages done in a 16-bit style. Really cool stuff, and that's how you get the emeralds in this game, which have been somewhat altered to be fire emeralds, and they come from a different dimension, similar to the soul emeralds from Sonic Rush. But yeah, really cool stuff. A lot of thought and effort has been put into this, and it's totally worth checking out. Right, next up we've got Sonic Time Twister by guess who? Team Overload once again, possibly the most prolific hacking group at this year's event. So yeah, this one kind of plays like Sonic 1 Megamix. It's kind of it's taking a lot of those modern Sonic sort of gameplay elements and putting them into sort of classic Sonic. So you've got a homing attack, for instance. There's a big emphasis on speed, and I do feel like it works as a little bit of a detriment against the actual game. The stages are very short, and because of the emphasis on speed, there isn't too much platforming, so you blast through them very, very quickly. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame. You know, it would have been nice to have mixed things up a little bit, or at least elongate the stages to make better use of the fact that you're going a lot faster. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit too showy. There's a bit where there's like 8 bloody loops back to back, and it's just like, all right, we get it. You're trying to, you know, give us a bit of spectacle, but it's a little bit too much. The other thing is as well is the palette choices are not particularly nice. It's got to be said. I think the idea is they're supposed to be going through a day and night cycle, so I mean, some are always going to work better than others anyway. But the orange of the first act is a really ugly sort of, you know, quite offensive colour choice, to be honest with you. I didn't particularly get on with that one too well. The actual stage design itself isn't particularly too bad, but like I say, because it focuses on speed more than platforming, there isn't an awful lot to do really, other than just belt it through the stage as fast as you can. So yeah, there's definitely like elements of something that could be good here. It's just that it needs some more thought put into it. If you're going to focus completely on speed, then you definitely need the stages to last longer. So if it can be done, they need to think about maybe making stages that sort of double back on themselves, make better use of the space, instead of just you pressing forward and beating it in, you know, almost 30 seconds sometimes. It definitely needs more focus on just making better use of the space and just making sure you've got something to do for the whole time that you're in the stage. Because if you're just going to hold right and beat the stage in 30 seconds, then there's almost no point in playing the thing. So perhaps they need to think about adding some more sort of precision platforming, just something else to do to elongate the experience, or actually just make longer stages. This definitely needs work. I quite like how it plays. I feel like, you know, there's a decent thing in here somewhere. It just needs more thought and some time put into it, because at the moment it's very sort of showy, but there's not much depth to it, unfortunately, which you could argue is very much Sonic in itself. But you know, a good Sonic game should definitely have elements of both, and I feel like this is all show and no substance at the moment. And finally, we've got Sonic Virtual Adventure by Ladego Team, or Ladego Team. This is really pretty, I've got to say. Lots of custom artwork going on in this one. A really nice looking game. I think it's using Sonic 3 or 2 as its basis, because there's a little bit more... I don't know, it feels a little bit different to Sonic 1, and the actual file as well was a .gen file, which I think is normally Sonic 2 and 3. But yeah, don't quote me on that, it's just something I noticed. This is a cool idea. So basically, Sonic gets sort of kidnapped from his dimension and put into sort of like a virtual reality world, where he has to explore various zones in said world. The goal of each stage is not to just find the end of the stage, as per a traditional Sonic game. It's actually more like Knuckles' Emerald Hunt, which we looked at in a previous episode, in that you have 3 emerald pieces that you need to find in each stage, and then you can exit. Now, this would have been alright if it wasn't for the fact that the radar is a lot more difficult to read than it is in Knuckles' Emerald Hunt, which bases its radar on the Sonic Adventure style Emerald radar, where you have a green symbol when you start to get near it, then it goes yellow, then it goes red when you're right next to it. This one basically just has a blue emerald, and when you're getting closer to it, it flashes red faster. And I did find that it was a lot more difficult to read. It was difficult to sort of suss out whether the emerald was, below me or behind me. I was having a really hard time trying to figure out where things were using that gauge, unfortunately. And I just don't think it works in its favour. This wasn't nearly as fun to play as Knuckles' Emerald Hunt, which was surprising, to be honest with you, because I wasn't massively blown away by Knuckles' Emerald Hunt, but it does, work with the emerald hunting gameplay a lot better than this does. And I think as well, because you're familiar with the stage layouts if you've played Sonic 2, that works in Knuckles' Emerald Hunt favour as well, because there's only so many places the emeralds can be. This has completely new stage designs and lots of custom artwork and things, and it's just that little bit harder because you don't know where everything is, so you don't know where you should be double backing on yourself or exploring further up the stage. It's a lot more challenging in that regard, and I did find myself losing interest in it a lot faster than Knuckles' Emerald Hunt because of that. Again, that's probably not the game's fault itself, because, again, a lot of effort's gone into this, what with the new stage layouts and the graphics and things. And it plays nice, there's a good flow to the stages, the stage design is genuinely quite good, but like I say, the actual emerald hunting gameplay doesn't particularly... I didn't particularly find it as fun, because I'm trying to explore new areas, and it would have just been nice to have done that in a more traditional Sonic platformer where I'm just working from point A to point B, and then getting a boss battle. So yeah, missed opportunity once again, I think. Not nearly the worst hack at this event. I think it's a good game. I just feel like the implementation of its gameplay is a bit at odds with the effort that's gone into the actual stage design. It would have just been nicer to have mucked around with this as a traditional Sonic platformer instead of this sort of focus on hunting bits of emerald. So yeah, a bit of a shame that, but certainly worth checking out because, like I say, I really do enjoy the stage design. I think the graphics are really lovely. The new art is really well done, and yeah, so there's something here for everybody in that regard. Just you might not find that the actual focus on hunting emeralds is all that great.